Hey, what is up guys? Today we're checking out the Playarts Kai Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive Nyx Ulric. So here's a figure right here, and I've got to say, I wasn't sure if I was going to pick up this figure, because this figure is pretty much notorious for having one of the worst Playarts Kai head sculpts that they've ever made for any of their figures out there. So yeah, today we will be checking out this figure, so I hope you guys will enjoy, and first up, let's take a quick look at the packaging. Stay tuned guys. So here's the front of the packaging. We have a nice photo of the figure itself, and I can tell you guys that the head sculpt does not look like this in person. And here we have the 30th anniversary Final Fantasy sticker, and down here we have Kingsglaive, Playarts Kai, and here's a look at the side of the packaging. So yeah, this is the only figure that they made from Kingsglaive, which is a bit of a shame. I would have liked if they made a couple more figures from the film. But anyhow, here's the inside of the packaging. So we have some text here. So if you guys want to read this, then by all means, feel free to pause and read. And here we have yet another nice photo of the figure and a nice window display to showcase the figure inside the box with all the accessories. So we have the outer packaging, and here's this figure with this absolutely god-awful head sculpt. And we have the spare head sculpt with the helmets and the mask. And down here we have few pairs of hands and the blades. And so here's the figure out of the packaging, and I've got to say, the figure with the helmets, it actually looks really good. I mean, it's a pretty nice looking figure in this state with the whole, flowing purple cape. It makes the figure look very majestic, very dynamic, I would say. But with this head sculpt, not so much. I will give you guys a look at the head sculpt on the body a little bit later on, but that is something that you guys do not want to see. It does not look good. Trust me, this is not a good head sculpt. Let's go ahead and take a close-up on the figure. So this is the head sculpt, or the helmet I should say. It's a very nice design. I mean, I think this looks great. It looks super cool. It almost looks like he's got 4 eyes inside the helmet piece, which is kind of fun to look at. But yeah, this is the helmet, which is a great design. Figure looks perfect like this, no issues at all. It's just, one of the best Final Fantasy 15 designs, I would say, for a character. It's just the head sculpt, which is the main letdown of the figure, which I'm sure most of you guys would probably agree. But anyhow, let's take a little close up. I mean, we have so many details. The armor almost looks like chainmail. It's got all the little links in the armor. And this here piece right here, the chain, it's actually real metal chain, which is a very nice touch. And this is the purple cape piece, which is probably my favorite piece on this whole entire figure. It just makes the figure look super cool, and it's the main selling points of this design. It's also made of a soft piece of plastic. There are some areas which are made of soft plastic, but most of the figure is hard plastic. And moving down here to the waist of the figure, we have so many designs, like all these little bits of jewelry and whatnots, all these little chains. And here we have the gauntlet piece with some nice detailing inside the armor. And moving down here to the legs, and we have this holster for the dagger. So if you guys are wondering why I don't have the blade inside this holster, it's because the blades don't fit all that well inside these holsters. I don't know why, but they just don't go all the way in. It seems like they stop halfway. And down here we have the boots. We do have some nice detailing here. I mean, look at the laces sculpted into the boots. It's, it's actually pretty intricate details. And here is the back. I think this is a zip piece on the hood. It looks like a zip, but of course it does not work. And down here, back of the armor, some type of design, this emblem with all these torn up bits of fabric on the side of the sleeve. We have so many different textures, so many different paint jobs and designs. You can tell they put a lot of efforts into the design of this character. And here's my favorite piece, this purple cape. Down here to the cloak and the back of the legs and the boots. And just a quick look at the side of the figure. just in case you guys want to have a better look at this horn piece. It's been such a long time since I've seen the film. I've actually only seen the film once. I think it was around lockdown that I seen this Kingsglaive film, but I would love to rewatch it again because I barely remember the film, but I just remember it was, you know, a pretty good film overall. Probably some of the best CGI that I've ever seen. I really hope that they make a new film for the Final Fantasy VII remake. Okay, so this is the moment which you guys have been waiting for. So we're gonna take a look at the head sculpt of the figure. Okay, you guys ready? In 3, 2, 1. Wow. Wow, I mean, what a great head sculpt. Wow. I mean, the head sculpt, it's not too bad from certain angles, but I just think the paint job and the sculpting combined, it just does not look good. And look at the paint job in the eyes, they're so uneven, and we have all these bits of, you know, like paint on his face, which I think was on the character in the film, but it just does not translate well into a figure. It does not look right here. You can see we have all these scars on the face. It's just, you know, a super ugly head sculpt, and by far one of the worst head sculpts which Players Kai have probably ever made. So fun fact about this character is that the actor who plays Jesse Pinkman in Breaking Bad, I think his name is Aaron Paul, he does a voice for this character, Nyx Ulric, inside Kingsglaive, which a lot of people actually don't know about, but I just thought that was a really cool fact about this film because it was so unexpected. But anyhow, yeah, that's a look at the head sculpt. Yeah, not the best head sculpt. I think maybe with a repaint, bit of a resculpt, it might look decent. I have seen some people doing a repaint on the head sculpt, and it looks much better. But this figure straight out of the factory, you know, there's no quality control here. It does not look good. And yeah, that's about all I've got to say about the head sculpts. I guess I'll give you guys a look at the sides here of the head sculpts. It doesn't look too bad here from the side. It actually looks pretty good. And here's the back with this super, you know, super iconic, glossy, shiny paint job for the hairpiece, which all Players Kai figures always seem to have. I don't know why. He's even got this earpiece, which I can't remember what this is. I don't remember what this stands for inside the film, but it looks almost like a hearing aid or something, which I'm sure it isn't. But once again, I'm gonna need to rewatch the film at some point to remember all the details about the character. But anyhow, I hope you guys weren't too terrified by this head sculpt. And this is just a quick look at what I mentioned about the dagger piece not going properly into the holster. So as you can see, if I try to put the dagger inside, so yeah, it just seems to stop like that, even though like the blade is only, you know, like halfway into the holster. It just kind of stops. I don't know, maybe it's supposed to look like this, but it just doesn't look right. And you know, if the figure falls, this sort of handle piece is gonna snap without a doubt. So I just choose to, you know, just take the blade out and just have it like this, because I'm not gonna risk, you know, damaging these blades. And it's pretty much the same issue with the back holster piece right here. We have the same issue. Let me just give you guys a quick look here. So yeah, you can see the blade just kind of stops there. I mean, I don't want to force the blade in because I don't want to break it, but you guys can kind of see the issue which I'm talking about. It just doesn't want to go in anymore. So let's take a look at the articulation for the figure. And so for this articulation demo, I thought I would display the head sculpts on the figure instead of the helmet, because this helmet is highly restrictive and there's no articulation whatsoever in this helmet piece. So yeah, let's take a look at what we have here. We have a ball joints at the head sculpt, ball joints at the neck. As for the shoulders, we have these ball hinge joints, and we actually have these type of ball ratchet joints, as you guys can hear that, at the elbows, which is kind of unusual. And here we have these ball hinge joints at the wrists. This piece right here also moves. I don't think it's necessarily on a joint, but it can move, as you guys can see. It's kind of just attached onto this here piece. This here jacket piece isn't very bendy. As you guys can see, it's super rigid. This here chain piece right here, made of real chain. And this here cloak piece is sort of made out of soft plastic, but it's still not, you know, flexible enough. So as for the torso piece, I think we do have a ball joint in there, but it's pretty much impossible to move the joint because the body is so stiff. And as for the waist, pretty much the same issue. We have a ball joint in there, but it is pretty tricky to get to. As for the hips, we have these ball ratchet joints, super loud joints. We don't have anything at the thigh. They could have definitely hidden a swivel joint right here. We have a double, it's a very tight joint. We have a double hinge joint at the knee, I mean, I barely moved this figure, so it's super tight. We have a ball hinge joint at the ankle piece, and it doesn't seem like, oh, we actually do have a hinge joint, a single hinge joint at the toe, which I never realized. And as for the back of the figure, this here purple cape piece has a ball hinge joint right here at the base of the figure, and 2 ball hinge joints right here. So you can move them any which way you want, and it will hold that position, which is pretty nice. And then yeah, they're pretty bendy. So yes, that's a quick look at the articulation for the figure. And here's Nyx Ulric beside the rest of the PlayArt Kai Final Fantasy 15 figures. So here he is in the back. And right over here we have the rest of the figures. So we have Gladios, we got Prompto, 30th Anniversary Noctis, and Ignis. And down here we have the rest of the figures, Aranea, Cindy, and Luna Freya. So I would recommend only picking up this figure if you guys are a big fan of the film or the game, or if you guys just want to complete your PlayArt Kai Final Fantasy 15 line. But anyhow guys, I hope this review was helpful, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are new here, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring that bell notification so you guys don't miss out on all these PlayArt Kai figure reviews. Thank you guys for watching, have a great day, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy guys.